Okay, Mr. Fenwick here, back with part 5 of From HLC to Life After HLC. Joining me today, our final session, is Miss Tardive. Welcome, Miss Tardive.
Hello.
All right, so far, what have we covered? We have covered our history, our current program, our armed services, technical services, standardized testing, applying to college transcripts, financial aid, and actual cost calculator. Today, we're going to cover IEPs in college. Okay. So IEPs in college, Miss Tardive, we can take our IEP with us.
You can take your IEP with you, yes.
Any caveats to that statement?
Basically, every student will graduate with a current IEP,
Okay.
and we just need to make sure that there are a few things in there. For instance, use of a calculator. Sounds like a little thing, but if you don't have it in your IEP, you may not be able to use a calculator for your math course or for the math placement test. The extra time is usually in most of our students' IEPs, so that's good. Sometimes we like to add copies of notes. That can be helpful, although many college professors lean on the PowerPoint presentations and provide their students with those anyway, all their students.
Sometimes even before class.
Sometimes even before class, right. And those are the basic components that are necessary. Some colleges are looking for, can I move into this?
Yeah, please.
Some colleges are looking for, within a year, a current educational assessment. Woodcock-Johnson is the most frequent one. And it is also helpful if the IQ test, the psychological exam, is updated, because many students have their IQ testing done, but they're using the children's form.
Mm-hmm.
But once a student is 16 years old or older, then they take the adult version, and that's the one that's acceptable at college.
And that point actually just came up at Centenary College, what we visited a couple weeks ago, where they said that, yeah, they do need the scales. And Centenary, as listeners may or may not know, is a school that really is well thought of in this community because of their working one-on-one with so many of their students. And we've had a number of students in the last few years, last 10 years at least, that have gone into Centenary and had a great experience. So it's one we fully support.
Right. Most school districts that I work with are more than happy to update the testing. They send a learning consultant and a psychologist out here. It takes about 2.5 hours to update, and it's not as intense as the original testing. And basically, we're just looking for those dates to be current enough to be acceptable, not only for the special services at college, but also for the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation, because they can also provide help. Many students applied to DVR to see how DVR might be able to help them, and it's becoming more frequent that DVR has some money available to students for college expenses. These are based on family incomes, though.
Okay. Well, the thing that comes down to with IEPs is that date of evaluation has to be within 1 year of the student graduating from college. So it's important that parents ask for that even in the junior year or the summer before their senior year, to make sure that the districts, because money's tight and districts need to allot time and money to get this, but it is a right to have this done.
Right. Well, basically, if I could just jump in here,
please.
The testing needs to be formalized through a meeting, a reevaluation meeting, and then after that meeting, the testing has to be completed within 60 days. So some students come up for reevals. Revals are done every 3 years, and sometimes testing is done and sometimes it isn't, because there's enough information to continue the eligibility.
Mhm.
But for college purposes, it's good to do it, to hold off as long as possible so that the test dates are as current as you can get them.
Okay. And the final thing to remember about IEPs in college is that mom and dad can't do the work. The college is not going to do the work, in that the student is going to need to work with the professors and the college to get the assistance that they need. This is a maturity issue. This is something that a lot of students, they choose sometimes not to do it, and sometimes it's their own peril, and sometimes it's to their own success. But it really is the student deciding what I need and how am I going to get it, and looking ahead of time at the colleges to see if it's available. So it's going to the college ahead of time, figuring out what services they're going to have available, because not all colleges have services, and they're going to really depend upon the student to say what they need and for the student to access it. So that's it for IEPs in colleges. Wanted to real quick run through a list of schools here that we are familiar with, have heard about, for students with special needs at colleges. Comes to mind right off the top is Horizons at Morris County, Project Connections at Middlesex, DAP at Sussex, Project Mentor at Jersey City, Excel at the Kean University. We just saw them last week. Great program. And of course, Centenary is, can't say enough about that program, not to slight it one way or the other. Other programs we're familiar with are Landmark College up in Vermont, Beacon College in Florida, and Lynn University. I just did a workshop this fall, and a woman spoke very highly about their programs, the students on the autism spectrum. And then Dean College is another one we've heard about. We've had some students go on to some of these we haven't. There are many others out there, and a Google search will yield, I'm sure, even more. We do like to share some of the successes of our students, and want to quickly add a list of students or colleges here. We have TCNJ, Ryder down also near TCNJ, University of Missouri, Drew, Ramapo, Northeastern, county colleges, probably list all day. And then just recently we add in Oberlin College in Ohio, Seton Hall University, and the University of Utah. This list is not complete. We depend upon alumni returning and sharing their experiences with us. Maybe you have some more you've heard of. Alumni are going everywhere, and they're experiencing a lot of success.
And we're hoping to have some of them back in the spring to talk to our students. We have a student who's finishing up at County College of Morris right now, and will be going to Cornell.
Wow.
We have a student who's out at Penn State who just was on Facebook saying she's very happy that the semester is done, and this is a student whose road to pay for her college education has been very rocky. Maybe she can come back and tell us some of that. And then we have a student who just transferred to Ramapo from Centenary. And we have some students interested in Ramapo this year.
Good. I like that.
So we might have to set something up for that, Mr. Fenwick.
Okay. Well, that's it. I think we got like a minute more, so I'm gonna quickly tell you. Actually, that'll have to be it for this part. I said I'd keep it to below 10 minutes. A last section will be how to get in touch with Tardive and myself. And I promise that'll be a quick one. Anything else? Questions that came up afterwards? We want to address the transcripts issues.
The transcript issues are a case by case, on a case by case basis. So if you have a transcript issue, I feel strongly that the Hunterdon Learning Center should not appear on a student's transcript. I have different responses from different districts, and some of them are willing to accept my opinion, and some are a little hesitant. So if you have a transcript issue, talk to me first, and we'll figure out best how we can address it in your particular case.
Okay, and that contact information will be available on part 6 of our, and I promise will be a quick one, presentation. Thank you for listening.